When the weather started to get cold, I decided it was time for me to pack up and head south. Puerto Vallarta has been on my list of places to visit for a long time. My life is much simpler now since moving to Mexico, and my overall expenses have gone way down. Being a beach destination, Puerto Vallarta has a lot of coastline, where you can spend your days relaxing or exploring. The city has a lot to offer. It's a fun and friendly place to live, stay for a while, or vacation. In this video, I'll highlight some of the reasons why I decided to move to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and talk about the current situation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Here are some of the reasons why I chose to move to Puerto Vallarta. First, I have some pandemic-specific reasons. Tourism is very low right now in Mexico, so it's easy to social distance on the beaches and around town. Regular exercise and exposure to sunlight helps the immune system, and the warm weather here allows for plenty of beach time and many more opportunities for outdoor activities. This is Los Animas Beach. It also allows me to keep my window open and get plenty of fresh air, or work on my balcony for a change of pace. Many restaurants have socially distanced outdoor seating available, and there's often a breeze, adding to the safety of dining out. And restaurants and businesses have adopted international standards to reduce the spread of the virus. Scientific studies have found that higher humidity reduces the time that corona can remain in the air, making Puerto Vallarta a safer choice for me than the drier climate of my home base in Denver, Colorado. Many businesses are struggling right now, and here in Mexico, my US dollar goes far, and I can afford to eat out every meal and really help out struggling businesses.
I'm having a stuffed dorado fish fillet with stuffed with shrimp. I'm super excited. It looks amazing.
I have camarones con ajo y mantequilla, which is shrimp with garlic and butter. I get it every time. It's delicious.
Along with all the coronavirus-specific reasons for moving here, Puerto Vallarta is an amazing place to live.
It's the tallest waterfall that I have seen so far in the Puerto Vallarta area, and it's beautiful. And it's nice that it's running this long after the rainy season.
Beautiful.
What do you think?
I think this is wonderful. I mean, this is nature. You should come.
Nomads have discovered Puerto Vallarta as a great place to work remotely.
Today we're having an event called a co-working day. And so just a group of us digital nomads getting together and working together because we're tired of working alone at home. So it's just a nice way to have coworkers for the day and kind of get out and meet people.
Retirees have been moving here for years because of the warm weather and affordable lifestyle.
Walking around my neighborhood, even just coming up my stairs, you see a typical hacienda-style building with lots of brickwork, lots of tile work, a great big open-air terrace. The ocean is 67 steps away from my front door, so that is constantly in the background as you're walking up and down the street and over to the park. And then the street sounds are wonderful. The vendors are all set up on the Malecón. People are just going about their business.
The lime and the coconut. Puerto Vallarta has friendly, welcoming people, great food, art, modern conveniences, luxury, as well as the traditional cobblestone streets that lend to the charm of the historic city center. And there are no visa requirements for a U.S. citizen for a visit of less than 6 months. So it was an easy decision for my next destination. In the next few weeks, I'll be posting videos featuring some of my friends that are living here in Puerto Vallarta. So subscribe if you want to find out more about the Puerto Vallarta quality of life. I booked my first week at an Airbnb in Centro, Puerto Vallarta, at the edge of the Cinco de Diciembre neighborhood and planned on looking for a more permanent residence. But I like my place so much that I extended my stay, and I'm living at the Airbnb. My place is 2.5 blocks from the beach and at the north end of the Malecón, which is a mile-long walkway along the waterfront featuring sculptures, bars, and restaurants. It's a great place to catch the sunset. From December through April, the average daily high temperature is about 81 degrees, and the low at night is about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. So the weather is great. Not too hot in the day, and no air conditioner needed. I'm able to office on the balcony at my apartment building for fresh air or at the desk in my room with a window that opens up to the garden courtyard. With low rates of COVID-19 compared to the US, a less dense population than my home base of Denver, and most restaurants and activities taking place outside, I feel safer and freer than I did back in the United States. There's plenty of places to eat where there's tables spread out for social distancing and this nice breeze along the beach. Here's the current situation here, but these rules and recommendations may have changed since the making of this video, so I'll leave links below to help you find the latest information. Currently, it's encouraged that everyone practices social distancing in public places and wear a mask, which is mandatory at supermarkets, convenience stores, churches, offices, and other enclosed premises. My observation is that businesses are sticking to the rules, while wearing of masks around town and in public areas like parks, beaches, and the Malecón is not always observed. Wearing a mask or not wearing a mask is not a political statement here like it is in the US. In the past week, on the Malecón, I have noticed police asking people to put their mask on. As of January 26, all passengers on international flights bound for the United States will be required to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test, PCR or rapid antigen, or written documentation of recovery following a COVID-19 infection. Canada requires the PCR test. Tests for entry into both countries must be conducted no more than 72 hours prior to departure. I have a link in the description below to a list of testing providers in Puerto Vallarta with locations, cost, and turnaround times. I recently got a PCR test from Salud Digna. The cost was about $50 US. I scheduled the appointment online and got the results back in 48 hours by text through WhatsApp. The link is in the description below.
The airport, they are offering the PCR test, and that is required for Canadians, and the antigen test that is required to fly to America. They will, for the antigen test, they will give you the results within half an hour and 45 minutes, and the PCR, they will give you the results between 24 hours and 30 hours. The good thing about it is that it's already in the airport, so I advise you to go like 1 day before. Also, they will require your passport and boarding pass. They will give you a print copy, even though they will send it by mail. And that's good, but because the airlines, you don't have the risk of they will not approve it when you board.
Art galleries, shopping centers, and stores are open and operating under the international sanitary standards established by the government. From my observations, businesses are complying to all the rules and are very diligent. I'm at Lolita's restaurant, and here it is. One of the things I like about it is that there's plenty of social distancing. There's my meal right now. And I'm gonna sit out here today. So it's really a great place to enjoy a meal where you've got open air and it's easy to social distance. The public beaches are open. Social distancing is recommended, as well as limiting your group to no more than 8 people. Face masks can be removed once you are on the beach and practicing social distancing. The Malecón is open to the general public, using face masks at all times and social distancing of 1.5 meters between people who are not part of your group. All residents and visitors are encouraged to wear face masks at all times when using any means of transportation. There are reduced capacity requirements for most businesses, although that doesn't seem to be a problem since there are not that many visitors here at this time. The government has been diligent at trying to keep businesses open as much as possible, but several times they have increased restrictions when the hospitals are at capacity. Please let me know in the comments below if you have questions about living in Puerto Vallarta. And please subscribe and click the bell so that you'll be notified when I release new videos about Puerto Vallarta. You may also want to check out Ian's series about living in Costa Rica right here on Living Overseas TV.